Looks like we made it. Oh, yeah. Good old Barry Manilow. Probably most of you don't even know who he is right now. That's what makes it exciting to me. That one of my new listeners, whatever, they make comments for a while. Some of them stay around. He made a comment on a short that I did. I want to say last night, but it was after midnight, so it must have been this morning, 25th of September, 2024. And it's called Forgiveness, Understanding, and Tolerance. It's a quick clip excerpt on the playlist from the whatever full-length video I did. I don't know. It was about forgiveness and understanding, I suppose. Goes about 20 minutes, so you'll never watch it. But on that, Life, Love, We, that's his handle, his name, whatever it is. And he wrote some nice looking poem that evidently he wrote, but I can't be sure. And the thing is, right at the end, the last line of it says, "Looks like we made it." And so I was like, oh, I might have liked and hearted him or something. Usually I only heart people to let them know that it's going to be okay. What is the question? I don't know. But I questioned him after his comment. I said, Barry Manilow, looks like we made it. I said, Barry Manilow, with a question and a smile. It's a good joke because he probably has no idea who Barry Manilow is. Like I said, most of you don't. I remember growing up in the 70s, you know, through the 70s and being in the car, maybe a station wagon for sure at one point, but with the radio was always on. My mother would listen to the radio, and they had those push buttons, AM, FM, that you could pick your channel and go back to. You had like 6 channels that you could have, which was probably more than you needed, because who's really listening to the farm report if they're a woman driving the kids to school? Any woman taking her kids to school isn't working on the farm. The woman stays home and works, and the kids work until they absolutely get the job done, and then they have to run to town a mile or two. That makes runners out of them. They get their own way to school if they're going to be educated. And on days when it's time for the hay or whatever it might be, maybe you have to fix the fucking shingles on the roof, you get the day off school. Work's more important than learning. That's no joke for some of the people, even when I was growing up in school. I won't name them. They're very nice people, but they aren't highly educated, but they're good at what they do. That's enough. So I said, Barry Manilow, ha. And the thing is, after making the joke, I had to look into it. I looked at Barry Manilow. I just got out of the shower. Look at me. Look how clean I am. And I decided to listen to Barry Manilow while I was in the shower, so I put it on Alexa there, and I said, play Barry Manilow. And I'm listening to this stuff, and I'm hearing the symphony. There was an orchestra there. You know, I'm like, I never realized this. All the time we were growing up, people made fun of Barry Manilow because he was writing love songs and stuff. And it's kind of the thing where I read in a book about the rise of black metal in Scandinavia. The resurgent atavism, they're coming back up to take what's theirs, and they're like, and they're burning churches and everything. In that book, it said that in a culture where the music is very, very heavy, there are things that are at odds within that culture. Things aren't going so well. And in a culture where there's peace, things are going all right, which I don't know. Maybe they're just pushing it on them, so on the people, so that it calms them. Like the Germans keep the beer going for their people so they don't fight in the morning, and keep the citizens in line. You got to give them something. Keep them broke and keep them drunk. People made fun of him. And so I started thinking about it. I'm like, that is fantastic music he's actually doing. And I'm sure he must have won a lot of Grammys and things like that, I believe. You don't hear much about him anymore. I don't even know if he's still alive. I didn't look that up. But what I did look up when I told Victoria coming out of the shower, I was like, geez, oh man, that guy, if I think he's writing the music and the orchestra for all this stuff. And she's like, I really don't. See, there's that idea that Barry Manilow is just a hack. And I was like, well, I don't know. And she said, well, look it up. And so I said to Alexa, I say, hey, Alexa, did Barry Manilow write all his own orchestra? I said it right. I don't know what I said, but she said to me, she says, yeah, but Barry Manilow, he did all the arrangements for his music and directed the orchestra. I'm like, holy shit. I mean, this guy, they gave him shit, but he was good. And I figure if he's directing orchestras for this music, I mean, there are horns, there's strings, there's all this stuff, and it's beautiful. He sings songs about banging chicks left and right and people getting shot for love. I'm like, oh, I know what happened to Barry Manilow and why it is people gave him shit, because they were told to give him shit, because the people that are highfalutin, that were orchestra directors and things like that, maestros, they probably kicked him out of their field because he was banging all their wives. I think he was a radical in his field, and he just got into music over here and banged more people's wives. The guy had something going on, and I was like, holy crap. And I'm in the shower listening to this. I'm like, geez, this is really something. And then I realized, if the step Danny comes home while I'm in the shower there and she's walking by in the hallway and hearing the music, I play all kinds of different music because I want to hear what's going on there. There's all kinds of different music coming out of the shower when I'm in there. But if she, and this is what I'm going to say, she would consider me old for knowing Barry Manilow. She would. Who wouldn't? Most people don't even know who he is. That makes me old. I mean, I lived it. I was not going to concerts, but I was stuck. There's a reason I didn't find music that I liked until I was 19 years old, when that Danzig CD was put in front of me. They do make music for me. Never cared about music at all. I'm interested in it, but very little music ever touches me emotionally. And Barry Manilow was able to do that a little bit. And I thought about it. She's walking by, if she gets here and I'm in the shower and she hears Barry Manilow coming, and it's like, looks like we made it, and it's like, it's so sweet and it's so peaceful and everything. She probably thinks I committed suicide in the shower. But you know what? I may be old, but I'm not dead. Looks like we made it.